Hey guys, it's Cambear Run here, finally making another appearance to talk about the fact that FM25 is no longer going to be with us. It's I was going to say it sadly passed away. No, FM25 has been cancelled. I saw the news on the Friday. I meant to make a video about it on the Saturday, but I forgot I was going to the county ground and I had work on Sunday. So, FM25, I'm going to put the statement here. You'll be able to read it. But Sports Interactive have sat down with Sega apparently, and they've talked about, I would imagine what's happened to Sega, called somebody from SI into the office and said, will we be getting FM25 because you missed your fucking gameplay date, which they were supposed to do. So the answer was most likely no, so they've cancelled the game. I did see a few rumors that they were going to try and release it around about like May time when the season was over, but no, it would appear it's cancelled. We're all going to have to sit around and wait for FM26. It is extremely annoying because when you basically decide that you're going to pivot to FM Football Manager and you're going to keep your channel that way, it is really annoying that there will now be no Football Manager cycle. I've seen all the big FM YouTubers are up in arms about it. They've now got to decide what they've got to do. I'm down the smaller end. Obviously, I'm like, just over 500 subs. I only just recently started to like do FM full time on this channel as content. I've got a full-time job, which keeps me distracted. But it does, it is frustrating. I had everything planned out. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I'm going to keep most of it for FM26. But my first one-season wonder that I did during the beta was going to be AS Roma, which would have actually been quite cool. But that's now, that's gone to shit now. So, basically, it seems that from what the statement says, and obviously I've kept it up so you all can read it, they effectively couldn't bring a version that would work properly. Obviously, it seems they've had a ton of new issues with the Unity engine, working with all the things they want to add, because they are adding, it's not just the Unity engine, it's the addition of women's football. I think there's a few other things that we're going to add. I think they want to revamp the new gen system as well. I know they took out a lot of stuff. They took out international management, social media tabs, player shouts. They took out a lot of things which were actually quite cool. I know they took out player weight, which totally isn't to do with, taking out player weight, totally not a coincidence with the addition of women's football, but I'm not going to go there. Let's keep it peaceful. I don't want to bait controversy. I think I have to admit, I can understand why they've done it. They've obviously wanted to upgrade to a new engine, although they said they're working on it for 2.5 years, because obviously FM24 is meant to be a placeholder. I think there are some concerns, but I can understand they don't want to release a broken piece of garbage. We've had that too much in modern gaming, and I think if they release something which effectively doesn't work very well, you're just going to do more damage to the brand than you would from cancelling it. That being said, the damage this is going to do to the brand is going to be a problem. They'd already sold it on the fact they paid for the Premier League licensing, and obviously all the money they've spent on licensing for 1 year has now gone to the waste. And, that is potential. That's a financial black hole right there. I don't know how big it's going to be, whether Sega will step in. I don't know the inner workings of the companies. I'm not going to go there. I'm sure if somebody wants to tie Miles to a chair, and nah, let's not go there. But there is certainly going to be some brand damage. There are people concerned about, are we going to get FM26? I think they will. But the only concern I would have is that some of the licenses, because of the brand and reputation damage from this debacle, you might see that some of the licensing may not get renewed. You'll have to see how it goes. I think there was 1 or 2 Premier League clubs that wanted to do a partnership with FM for the release, and then that ended up going to shit. That might be a problem. I think there are long-standing issues that are going to come from this. We'll have to see what happens with FM26. Certainly, I've got problems with it because obviously I was really hoping the FM25 was going to be, I was actually going to, I was going to really commit to it as well when it's released, especially because it's at a quiet time at work. I can get the time off. I can go and make a ton of content. I'd had everything planned out. I knew exactly what I was going to do. I must admit, last season, I think I did Western Supermare on a whim. I had everything. I couldn't figure out what to do as a main save. So I ended up kind of just gravitating to Western Supermare basically the day before the full release for FM24. But I had everything planned out. I knew what I was going to do. I was going to look at actually learning to properly edit my videos as well. So it's not just me fucking cutting all the time. And I was actually going to try and incorporate other things into it. But that's all gone, down the shitter now. because there's no Football Manager. I'm going to take off the thing now. So we're going to have to figure. I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to do in the meantime. I do have some options. I do need to finish the Wisla Krakow series. I ended up getting super distracted by someone else, but more on that later. But I never actually finished the fucking series. I know that. I left on a cliffhanger for a cup final. I'll probably see what I can do about that. I'll see if I can get the time. It's going to have to be 2 weeks later. I'm entering a busy period of work where I'm going to be working, turning up there more frequently. So that's going to have to be on the back burner for the moment. So it'll be 2 weeks after, probably beginning of March. But I do need to finish the Wisla Krakow series. I can probably look at some of the summer leagues over FM24, since they'll be starting again, like the League of Ireland, the Allsvenskan, a couple of other stuff like that. Even the A-League in Australia abroad. I know that's a win. I think it's a winter league as well. But there are other things as well. I can do more real-life football content. I've been going to watch Swindon Town more regularly. I meant to do a video on Saturday, but I went to the county ground instead. Watched a very good 3-3 draw. I can, go to more Swindon home games and maybe do content from there. Didn't get someone to hold the camera. I can pivot for a little bit. Do Marvel, because one of the reasons why I've been so distracted is because Marvel's Rivals were released. I did do, while I was waiting for FM25, I did do a review of the beta. And now the full release is out, I've had a lot of fun with it. I could just, for the summer, do kind of Marvel's Rivals content as the seasons progress. So, because I've been having an experience playing as a tank main, which has been fun. But I've really enjoyed the game. It is something I can potentially cover over the summer, and then we'll be right back to Football Manager when we get the first news of FM26. Because I don't just want to disappear for months and months on end. Because this is content between February. I've got to think of content between at least March and October. So I can obviously keep up the Wisla Krakow series. I can do other stuff. I think there was one or two more one-season wonders I wanted to do for FM24 anyway. So I can look at that. It's getting the time to record because we're going into the summer at work. And where I work, obviously, the closer it gets to summer, the busier it gets in the industry that I work in. So it's finding the time to record, and it's not being exhausted after work afterwards. So it is going to have to be what I can do in the time I can do it, it must be said. So, yeah, it's unfortunate. I had plans. I think there's going to be some issues with brand damage. But otherwise, yeah, everybody's going to have to wait for FM26. I think the only thing that is surprising to me is they made all that effort to buy the Premier League license, to say, we're going to make major steps in introducing women's football. And we've gone from that at the beginning of, I think it was September when they started to talk about it. And we're now at, it's gone. It's the fucking South Park meme where and it's gone. It is what it is. But I think in the long run, it's healthier for the game that they don't release something crap. So they just take the reputation hit off of not releasing a game at all, rather than releasing something terrible and doing even more reputational damage. I think we'll have to see what the match engine actually does look like. There was some screenshots that was posted when they announced the pre-orders, and the game all looked a little bit more polished, but it did look a little bit bare. I'm hoping that when they do announce FM26, all the stuff that they're going to take out of FM25 will hopefully be put back in. I don't think they should have removed international management. I think that was a bad call, but they justified say, less than amount of percentage got removed, which I will maybe make one controversial statement. If they're going to take out international management and say, we didn't have time with everything they need in, because X amount percentage of people only played by this amount percentage of people, that means that the mode they add in, which is women's football, to kind of justify the removal of international mode, has to match the percentage that played by international. Otherwise, it's going to be difficult to try and justify it. I mean, I'm sure it would, but, But anyway, I'm going to see what I can do about the summer. Probably see if I can finish off the Wisla Krakow at least starting in March. And then we'll see what we can do as the months tick on. Because obviously I've now breached 500 subscribers. I don't really want to fucking kill the channel for no goddamn reason. Just go, there's no FM this year. I'm an FM content. I pride myself on, I'm going to get back to this. I'm going to be an FM content creator. Let's create some FM content. Let's do some football content. I'm going to get on with it. I might do the odd Marvel's Rivals video, mostly just because I want to see if we can get some friends together and fucking do some ranked experience. You see my experience trying to get out of gold. So, yeah. But otherwise, look forward to the Vizsla Krakow series. I'll see what else I can pull out my butt. Anyway, thanks for sticking with me. Shame about FM25. I'll see what comes in the summer.